Help connives with spiritualist kidnappers to harm her employers. What is scary? What is really, really scary? Hi, all, welcome to the channel. So, today we have a real life story. A real life story that I think that all of us can learn something from. It's a long read, you guys. Okay, so get whatever we all have to learn from this story. So the reader starts by saying, beware of that house help in your home. What happened in my home is sort of stuff you see in famed television program Super Story. Exactly 1 month ago, my family hired this 23-year-old young lady, Happy Yahuda, into our home. During the interview sessions, I had asked her where she hails from. When she told me she hails from Zango Kataf in Kaduna State, I felt comfortable considering my history with Kaduna, having attended secondary school there. Again, I asked where she had been before showing up at my home. She told the story of where she had worked previously and that her former employer traveled out of the country. I didn't immediately see any red flag, so I agreed for her to stay. We already have in our employ a janitor who came in 3 weeks, 3 days a week, and does an excellent job. We have two very young children, and this was a long holiday. My wife and I work full time, coupled with my frequent travels. We needed a minder for the children. Not that we left them alone with her at home. No, her job was just to act as accompaniment and tend to their needs under Madam's supervision. Happiness got along with the kids. I guess it was more out of her childishness or childlikeness than anything else. There were a few times I had walked into her teaching our 5-year-old to read. Maybe this one will not be bad, I said to myself, considering the terrible experiences with these people. I held my hope high. Well, until the scary occurrence of yesterday. I had been traveling for the better part of last 1 month. So, this Saturday, with the weather fairly clement, I hit the tennis court again. Then I got this call from home. Happiness suddenly makes up her mind she would want to leave her job immediately and would want her 1 month salary immediately. Usually, we pay their salaries to their agents who deduct their commissions at pay and pay them the balance. Then the next month, they start to get their full salaries. As far as I'm concerned, if she wants to go, she can leave. As it is with our practice and based on past experiences we have had, we would normally inspect their belongings before we show them to their quarters and carry out same when they are leaving. After I had permitted Madam to allow her leave the compound, she was asked to bring her bag forward. She wasn't expecting this. So she made to go back into her quarters. She was stopped and was asked to bring out her things. She brought out a few things. Madam had noted that when she came with only 4 dresses. How come? Her bag was suddenly so bulgy. To cut a long story short, Madam found at the bottom of her bag half of her entire jewelry collection. This young lady packed everything. Apparently, she could not tell which were pure gold or not. So she cleared everything that was in that particular cupboard. They included her wedding and engagement rings and other pure gold apparels, as well as very expensive gemstones and others. When they finally reached me on the phone, I asked that they keep her as I had made my way back home. When I got home, I would hear things that made it nearly impossible for me to sleep last night. Innocent looking and easily likable Happiness was not only a thief, as it turns out, he's also an agent hired by an evil gang and unleashed on unsuspecting employers. I sat transfixed, listening to her tell her story. I was trying to make out if she was afraid. I didn't see trepidation. I didn't see confusion. I didn't see remorse. I only saw a young lady possessed. At a point, my sister-in-law said to her, "There is something these people gave you to drop in the house. Where is it?" I turned and looked at my sister-in-law, wondering how could she have figured this out. I was still trying to understand what was going on when Happiness walked to her bag and brought out a piece of black cloth tied in a knot. I asked her to untie it. She did. There was this red substance looking as malleable as clay. I asked her to drop it on the floor. I asked my in-law for anointing oil. I poured it on the substance. It began to fume, and the whole living room was filled with this airy stench of decaying rot. Then it turned to yellow from red and later became black. Everyone began praying. Then the young lady started confessing. 2 weeks ago, my wife asked Happiness to help her lose her hair so she could go to the salon to get it redone. Unknown to her, she had cut pieces of her natural hair and kept. We saw that also tied in a nylon. She said this was meant for a human sacrifice. Things she said are really disturbing till now. According to her, she met these people around April 2023. They told her they would make her rich. They took her into this room and performed some magic and monies appeared in different currency. They asked her to take the monies, but each time she tried to take the money, it would disappear. They now told her that they will give her charms and send her on this assignment, and her job is to bring them valuables from her employers, and when she does, she would be able to take the monies. They then gave her the juju and told her that any home she enters, she should pick sand from outside of the house and sprinkle on the juju and speak to the juju, that the people in the house will suffer some degree of amnesia so she can steal whatever she desires and the owners would not remember that they owned the things or looked for them. They also told her that she must make sure no one sees or no other person sees the juju, otherwise it will lose its powers and she would become mad. My ears heard things that at my age my brain could not process. For the past 1 month, we had harbored and cared for the devil. She had unfettered access to my children. At times, she even dished food as well for my food as well as the children. As a rule, we don't maltreat anyone who works with us. They eat and drink same as us. The estimated value of what she had tried to steal is approximately 4 million naira. The next question became what to do with her. I got her phone, went through the call logs. A particular number called her 31 times from 5 a.m. on Saturday. She confessed that to the number of the king, that's to be the number of the kingpin. I asked her when she carried these items in her possession. She said on Thursday evening. So when she called the kingpin, she had accomplished her mission. They started to put her under pressure to leave the house and return to them. Now, the final resort should ordinarily be to hand her over to the police. But I shall not be taking up this option. I have my reasons. In 2015, while serving as an appointee of the government in Cross River State, and my wife temporarily resident in America, I discovered my driver, Jack, had duplicated keys to my main entrance door. And because I was away for months at a stretch, I had stripped my home of all my valuables. Of course, he ran away. I tracked him, got him arrested, insisted on him being tried in court, attended to court sittings until he was remanded at Carefull for about 5 months. Later on, following up with the police, I realized he was released without recourse to me. In their words, he had already suffered for the crime. To get to this stage, I know how much I was extorted by the police. I let it go. On another occasion, this time at the office, my admin manager connived with our company driver to cut away camera equipment worth over 7 million naira from the office strong room. The driver disappeared, but I got the admin manager arrested. I know how much extortion I underwent to the point that the most sensible thing to do was to cut my losses. Our criminal system needs more punishment to the victim than the criminals. Sadly, I felt sad for this young lady. Even though she's done enough to suffer behind bars, I feel nothing but pity for her. I see her as a victim of the kind of society we now find ourselves. When a 23-year-old from a poor background is so desperate to make it without working, they could have asked her to poison all of us in my family. She would have carried out their instructions to the letter. I'm grateful to God for sparing us of disaster or our friends and loved ones of bad news. If she is wise, she would realize she also has been delivered if ever she was under a spell. I took her phone, took out her SIM card, wiped out everything on it, and put back to factory setting so that whoever those people are, they can't reach her except she goes back to them herself. Of course, she can get her number back, but our details she will no longer have. This morning, I asked her to go to ensure that no other innocent family falls victim to this evil and demonic nexus that plants their agents in homes of unsuspecting families, and publishing her photo and details so that there's no hiding place for her and her likes. Hopefully, if anyone shares this story and other similar stories, these evil people will quit their trade. So, like the video, okay. I First thing, we all need to be prayerful because the crave for financial success without actually working for it is killing this generation. Yes, it's killing this generation because people will do anything to have Instagrammable moments. Can you imagine this girl? Hey, God abeg o. Na just God abeg na just dey talk. Anyway, thank you so much guys for watching. I will see you all in my next one. Bye.